Going on right now in Cleveland for the RNC, where they are about to name Donald Trump the official nominee for the party.
The roll call is going on, and we're getting close to that magic number.
CBS News has promised to cut in immediately when they start that nomination process. Scott Pelley is there in Cleveland. Their whole team is there. We're going to take you there live right now as they get ready for that formal part of the process.
Donald J. Trump Jr., his eldest son, will put Donald Trump over the top. So that will be coming up very shortly, and while we are waiting for that moment, we're going to go down to John Dickerson at the podium. John?
Well, Scott, that's right. We're about to reach that magic 1,237 total, that number we heard so much during those bitter primaries as Donald Trump fought off 16 opponents. That number is almost here. As you said, the order has been rearranged so that New York can take him over the top. They've got pride of place here right in the front, and it's very crowded up here as they're itching for this, and that will make Donald Trump the official nominee for that 45th spot as president. And we've got everybody's crowding around here, trying to be in the mix at this famous moment. And now we just will have to wait till the totals are arrived at.
And John, you know, there has been so much controversy at this convention about the Republican Party being divided and anti-Trump dissidents being voted down yesterday. But there's a great deal of enthusiasm on the floor.
That's exactly right. There is a tremendous amount of enthusiasm. There's a lot of pushing and shoving. Everybody wants to be in this moment. And this moment is the culmination of a sinking between Donald Trump and the Republican National Committee. Remember all that talk about the establishment and his difficulties with it. Well, he is now in sync with the establishment. They have beaten back any of the Never Trump efforts. And when he goes over the top with that 1,237 delegates, it will be proof of that, a kind of locking in of Donald Trump. This is now really, it's the Republican Party, but this is the official moment in which it really becomes the party of Donald Trump.
And North Dakota is weighing in with its 28 delegates. Let's go to Major Garrett on the floor for us. Major?
Scott, this is a historic moment for the Republican Party, a party that is quite clearly in transition. You talk to delegates here. Some are so clearly enthusiastic about Donald Trump, believing he's an outsider, believing he will do things for them that elected Republicans in Washington have failed to do, even though Republicans control the House and Senate. Trump supporters believe they are not serving their interests or their needs. That is one of the things that fueled Trump's rise to this moment of ascendancy, of taking control of the Republican Party on the floor of this convention. One of the things that's slowing things down tonight on the floor is that every delegation is going through all the counts for the other challengers to Trump, and they're being given their moment and their moment of respect for getting delegates in the primary caucus process. But be not afraid, Trump supporters. This is going to work out. Trump is going to be the nominee, and it's going to get back to New York, and Donald Trump Jr. will have the distinct honor, rare in American history, of saying to the world, my father is now the nominee of a major party. And as political scientists like to say, Scott, yes, anyone in America can grow up to be president, provided you're the nominee of a major party.
Major Garrett on the floor for us. Major, thank you very much. You know, John Dickerson, one of the things that demonstrates how things have changed at this convention is tonight's list of speakers. The three top elected leaders of the Republican Party are going to be speaking tonight, and none of them are going to be in prime time. Prime time has been reserved for the friends and family members of Donald Trump.
Well, that's right. We have a situation here. The reason they're not in prime time is two reasons. One, Donald Trump ran as an outsider. He often attacked those leaders who will be speaking tonight. This is a moment of unity, so that's trying to be forgotten. But he ran against Washington Republicans. He is not a candidate of the Washington Republicans. He is a representative of those Republicans who are revolting against the elites in their party. And they will return the favor in part. They will not sing the praises of Donald Trump, those leaders. They may mention his name, they may not. But the other objective, the real objective for the Trump campaign, is to give a picture of Donald Trump that only his family can give, the sort of private Donald Trump, and that is an effort to make him seem more palatable to the voters who are not in this hall. He's got this hall. There's a tremendous amount of excitement here, and they're roughly in line with the Donald Trump movement. What the Trump campaign is trying to do is make a pitch to outside in the world, and that's where the family comes in.
Major, when you look at this speaker list tonight, this really on television is not the Republican National Convention. It's going to be the Donald J. Trump Convention.
Yes, the Donald J. Trump brand is all around the primetime event tonight. Even some of those who were backers of Donald Trump after falling out of the presidential primary process. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie comes to mind, relegated to the non-prime time undercard, if you will. Same thing for Mitch McConnell, same thing for Speaker Paul Ryan of the House. So one of the things that's happening here before our very eyes, Scott, is a Republican Party that is not about the party nearly so much at this particular moment as it is about Donald Trump, the celebrity, the persona, the leader. And it's these delegates who are a part of that transition process, moving the party toward Trump to a future they can't quite describe, but they are confident Trump can lead them to. And that is the common denominator here on the floor among delegates who are passionately for Donald Trump. They believe as not only just an outsider, but as someone with a vision and toughness, pure core strength, he can lead this country and them in a different and better direction, in part by sort of toppling over the existing order in Washington and inside the Beltway, something they have come to discuss. And one thing I want to tell you, Scott, Corey Lewandowski just had a moment in the sun. He is the campaign manager fired by Donald Trump. After Donald Trump secured the nomination through the primary process, he represented the New Hampshire delegation, awarded the delegates, most of them for Donald Trump. His moment in the sun. I talked to Corey just a few moments ago. He said all through the campaign, he never was able to enjoy what he was accomplishing on behalf of Trump. Tonight, he said he's going to immerse himself and soak himself in this history, this moment, which he played an unmistakable role in achieving.
Lewandowski fired by Donald Trump, but when he gave the 11 New Hampshire delegation votes for Trump, he described him as my friend. Now we're looking at the New York delegation. Right there by the sign are some of the children of Donald Trump. That's his daughter Ivanka there in the middle, Donald Jr. on the left. We'll be hearing from Donald Jr. tonight. He will be speaking in prime time. There is Tiffany Trump there at the center. We'll also be hearing from her in prime time tonight. They're going to be describing the man, the father that they know. Tiffany Trump was raised in California. She's the second youngest of Trump's children, just graduated from the University of Pennsylvania with a double major in sociology and urban studies, but she's a fashion model, a singer, and a presence on social media as well. Donald J. Trump Jr. is the executive vice president of the Trump Organization, which of course runs the real estate holdings of Donald Trump. He's the eldest son of Donald and Ivana Trump, Donald Trump's first wife. He will be leading the New York delegation. He'll be putting his father over the top when the time comes that they have enough votes tallied up so that New York will be the state that symbolically makes Donald Trump the Republican nominee in 2016. That was Oregon that we just heard from with their 28 delegates.
Pursuant to the announcement of the delegation and the rules of this convention, Oregon, 23 votes Trump, 5 votes Cruz.
Pennsylvania.
All right, as we go to Pennsylvania, New York coming up, but we're not quite there yet. John Dickerson, you've been down there on the floor almost all day talking to delegates, talking to party officials. What have they been telling you about this day?
Well, you know, Scott, they came here to Cleveland, some of them a little nervous. They were not sure how this was all going to work out. Donald Trump has been an unpredictable candidate, and conventions are supposed to be predictable. They are supposed to run like clockwork, and there was a lot of nervousness when Mike Pence was picked as the running mate. That settled them down a little bit. And so last night, you get mixed opinions about it. On the one hand, people feel like it went off pretty well. Oh, and here we have New York now is announcing their delegates.
The New York delegation, this will put Donald Trump over the top and make him the nominee of the Republican Party.
New York,
the Empire State, proud to be the home of Donald J. Trump, and proud that we were the first state to cast a majority of our primary votes for Donald Trump. Proud that he won 61 of our 62 counties and more than 60% of the vote. And we are proud that we have as one of our delegates, Donald J. Trump, Jr.
Well, thank you very much, Ed, and thank you to my family, Eric, Ivanka, Vanessa, Laura, Tiffany, everyone here, all of our supporters in the great state of New York, even in the places that aren't so conservative. We've had such incredible support, you won't believe it. We're going to put New York into play this time around. I have the incredible honor of not only being a part of the ride that's been this election process, and to watch as a small fly on the wall what my father has done in creating this movement, because it's not a campaign anymore, it's a movement. Speaking to real Americans, giving them a voice again. And it is my honor to be able to throw Donald Trump over the top in the delegate count tonight with 89 delegates and another 6 for John Kasich. Congratulations, Dad, we love you!
And with that, Donald Trump is the Republican nominee, securing all the delegates he needs, with his eldest son putting him over the top. We do not expect to hear from Donald Trump tonight. He'll be making his acceptance speech on Thursday. But with Donald Trump, you never know. We didn't know he was going to show up last night, unprecedentedly early for a candidate, to introduce his wife.
Pursuant to the announcement of the delegation and the rules of this convention, New York, 6 votes, Kasich.
And that was CBS special coverage of Donald J. Trump becoming the